Let's talk about a type of power that's, well, it's quiet. It's the kind that doesn't need to shout to command a room. We're going to dive into the psychology of calm. Seriously, think about it for a second. In a chaotic meeting or a really tense family argument, who does everyone end up looking to? It's always the person who isn't freaking out. And that's not some accident. It's a display of incredible psychological strength.
You know, there's this huge misconception about what it means to be calm. We tend to think it means being detached, cold, or just not feeling the pressure. Like you have to be numb to keep your composure. But, well, psychology shows us that's just fundamentally wrong.
Okay, so here's the real difference. True calmness isn't about feeling nothing. Psychologically, calm people feel it all. The stress, the frustration, the fear. The difference is they've built up the strength to manage those feelings, instead of letting those feelings manage them. It's not weakness, it is profound, regulated strength.
So, here's how we're going to break this down. We've already touched on that big misconception. Next, we're going to get into the core of it all, the 4 key psychological traits of composure. And then we'll wrap up by seeing how this kind of calm is a skill you can actually build.
All right, let's get right to the heart of it. What does this kind of strength actually look like on a psychological level? Turns out it's built on a foundation of 4 key traits that all work together to create a really stable, resilient mind.
We're going to walk through these 4 pillars one by one. Emotional regulation, something powerful called low personalization, the critical skill of accepting uncertainty, and finally, learned resilience. Let's start with that first one.
First up, emotional regulation. Now, this is not about bottling up your feelings or pretending they don't exist. It's the opposite. It's about letting yourself feel that flash of anger or that wave of anxiety, and then choosing how you're going to respond. You feel everything, but you're not getting swept away by the current.
What's really cool is what's happening in the brain here. Calm people are masters of the pause. It's that tiny, split-second gap between something happening and their reaction. In that little moment, they let the thinking part of their brain, the prefrontal cortex, step in and take over from the purely emotional knee-jerk response. That little pause, that's where all the power is.
Okay, our second trait is an absolute game changer. It's called low personalization. This is the skill of not taking everything so personally. Calm people get that when someone else lashes out or gets critical, it's almost always a reflection of what's going on inside them. Their own stress, their own baggage, and it rarely has anything to do with you.
Because they don't immediately absorb someone else's negativity, they create this incredible emotional buffer. So imagine a coworker snaps at you about your work. The gut reaction is to get defensive or start doubting yourself, right? Well, low personalization lets you see that comment not as a personal attack, but maybe as a sign that they're stressed about a deadline. This saves your mental energy for what actually matters, instead of just wasting it reacting to their chaos.
Our third trait is something so many of us struggle with, accepting uncertainty. I mean, let's face it, life is unpredictable, and composed people, they don't fight that. They lean into it. Study after study shows that people who can tolerate ambiguity have lower anxiety and are just more emotionally stable. And here's what that looks like in the real world. Instead of draining their batteries worrying about things they can't possibly know or predict, they just pivot. They shift all their focus onto the things they can control, their own effort, their own attitude, their own next move. It's about having an internal locus of control, believing you're the one in charge of your responses. This shift from external chaos to internal control, it's fundamental.
And that brings us to our 4th and final trait, learned resilience. And this might be the one people get wrong the most. A lot of us assume that calm people must have had easy, comfortable lives. But the psychological reality, it's often the exact opposite. Their composure wasn't built in comfort, it was forged in fire. Think about it like a muscle. Every single time they faced a tough situation and got through it, they were doing a rep. They were strengthening that emotional resilience. Each past challenge, when they navigate it, becomes another brick in the foundation of their composure. Their calm is earned. So when you put all of this together, what's the big takeaway? It's that this incredible psychological strength isn't some magic trait that a few lucky people are just born with. No, it's the direct result of a trained mind.
Just let that sink in for a minute. If you take away only one thing, let it be this. The calm that you see and admire in other people, it is not an accident. It is the outcome of a process.
Emotional regulation, low personalization, accepting uncertainty, resilience, these aren't just personality quirks. They are psychological muscles, and just like any other muscle, they can be built. You develop them through awareness and through practice, day in and day out.
Real power, it isn't about having the loudest voice in the room. It's about having the calmest mind. And if you're on that journey, trying to build that kind of practical, psychological strength, well, then you're in exactly the right place.